Now, to get to the wrestling portion of today's program, AEW just did a Saturday special, the Battle of the Belts. And before we talk about what went on there, I want to go back to your appearance, your match with Sting at the first ever Clash of Champions, which, if memory serves, was the first ever TBS primetime special for wrestling. It popped a big number, and it made Sting. What are your prevalent memories of that clash, Nate?
Just that I had an opportunity to work with. I saw so much in him in terms of charisma. His look was a very, very unique look at that time. I mean, I didn't even compare the word to Sting. I mean, in that first, obviously not in-ring work, but I just thought Steve, what had that it factor. And I'll tell you what, to tell somebody you're going to go, I think we went 55 minutes. But I was thrilled. He never got tired. We did simple stuff, nothing, no moonsaults or anything, but we just did simple stuff that I could do, and I like to think it did help.
Oh no! Let me do the honors. It made Sting, and certainly he earned it and did everything after that to earn it even further. But I thought that match, I think it was a 45-minute draw, and you were in the Scorpion at the bell. But,
yeah.
But I'll tell you what made it for me. The way that he did his comebacks against you and you sold him, like when he would no-sell the chops and beat his chest and do the scream. I mean, that was what brought the crowd up. And again, I think those moments in particular made Sting.
Well, it's funny because I just called that in the ring. Because it's hard. To me, there's a certain number of guys that you can do all that with, and the people will believe it because of the way they look and the charisma that he brings with it. And like I used to put the figure four and he'd lay down and he'd sit up and then beat on his chest. I mean, he was just super charismatic and just a great guy. But a lot of that stuff we just winged it. I'd say to him, "Hey," I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Don't sell this." And I would knock him. He let me knock the living shit out of him. So he was just like Steamboat. He didn't care. A lot of guys didn't like that.
It was excellent. And did you know going into that match that Sting could be that good and be that big, or were you kind of like hedging your bet with him beforehand? How much did you believe before that match in Sting?
I believed in him. I wouldn't have put myself in that position if I didn't think we could do it. Because I don't think anybody would intentionally take this kid who was so good, who had such a great look, put him in there with me for 45 minutes knowing that I'm in decent shape. I think everybody believed in him. And ultimately, which he acknowledges all the time, I'm very happy of that he had helped launch his career. And it was but it's one of those things that I helped launch his, he helped create a longevity to mine. Does that make sense?
Oh, no question about that. That was definitely a two-way street. And he became an even bigger star, and for such a long time. I mean, look, he's still on TV today at age 62 and still way over. So, but that is, to my mind, where it all began. So full credit to both of you. Now, AEW's Battle of the Belt special on Saturday night drew 700,000 viewers, which is about 30% less than their show does on Wednesday. The Clash of the Champions always did higher numbers than TBS's Saturday show. So how should AEW and Tony Khan look at that show? Is it a success, a disappointment? What do you think?
The Clash with me and Sting did a 7-7.
Yeah, tremendous.
Yeah, we were up against WrestleMania, remember?
No, I think the Steamboat Clash was up against WrestleMania.
No, we were, too. Our first Clash was against WrestleMania.
Well, that number is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And how do you rate the AEW special? I mean, to draw 700,000.
I have to be honest with you, I didn't even know about it.
What I'm talking about, well, there you go. Maybe that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
To draw an audience of 30% less than their normal show, I mean, to me, it doesn't say anything good. But there's a bigger question here, Nate.
Yep.
How do we judge a wrestling promotion now? Is it attendance, the cool factor, money, ratings, pay-per-view buys? What matters the most?
Well, I would say in terms of revenue, the pay-per-view buys mean the most. I don't know. I know that both that USA and Fox have paid a fortune for Vince's products. I don't know what kind of money Tony makes.
Well, not nearly as much as WWE does.
Oh no, nowhere close. My God, I wasn't implying that for a second. I do know that I've heard people say that after 2 years, Tony on his own is a billionaire. That company's worth over $1 billion.
What, AEW?
Yeah.
I just don't believe
No,
that.
well, that's just what I've been told. So I have no idea.
I mean, looking from a distance, it doesn't seem to me they could be doing anything but hemorrhaging money. I've been told that their entire TV contract check is eaten up by their top 14 talents, who gets, the guys who get paid the most, like Punk and Danielson and so forth. But and it should be noted they're operating on a different business model because they actually do pay-per-views and they don't have a streaming network like WWE. But to me, Nate, you need to draw money, and that's kind of been lost. You need to get eyes on the product, and that number of eyes need to grow.
Absolutely. They dipped below 1 million again this week. I did watch that show.
That ain't good.
No, it's not. But once again, I think Tony is not going to be. He told me when I saw him on Jericho's cruise that now that's a year and a half ago, or whenever it was, that he was very close to breaking even.
I'll be blunt. I just don't believe that. I see no evidence that suggests that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why he would tell me a story. He'd have no reason to. He wasn't telling me to lure me aboard. So.
No. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. You see, I think when anything is run as a business model designed to make money, creatively it will run more efficiently too. There's a trickle down there.
Yes.
But I turn on the TV this week, I see Brody King. I see another new debut. I mean, all I see is new guys. I see more money going out. I don't see any more money coming in.
Absolutely. And I couldn't agree with that statement more. And the problem for me is that I'm in the wrestling business and know just about everybody. And I don't know, sometimes I don't know three-quarters of the card that's on AEW.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's a lot of new guys. It's a lot of obscure guys.
Since the last time I visited personally, there's got to be at least 10 new guys. And that was when I saw Tony when we were in Chicago together.
Yeah, and it's probably more than that. And again, I want to see as many people as possible get work because, you're rooting for the guys and girls who work in the industry. But
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I think less is more. And by the way, Nate, do you know there's a drinking game out there now about this podcast?
No.
There's a drinking game. Every time we say certain things that we retreat to, you're supposed to take a drink. So I think you have to do a shot when I say they have 15 pounds of sugar for a 10-pound bag.
Oh, I did hear that. Yeah.
And now they might have 20 pounds. I mean, my God, Brody King's a pretty big guy. There's a tweet from Bob King who says, will we ever see Charlotte Flair against Tessa Blanchard? We've talked about this before, Nate. What do you think?
I don't think so, from what I've heard.
Never. Why do you say that?
Well, I've just heard that I don't know the particulars, but I don't think she's going to go to WWE anytime soon.
Right, and Charlotte's not leaving WWE, so I guess that's either there or no place, correct?
Yeah, Charlotte's definitely not leaving WWE. I think she's, as a matter of fact, she was so good Friday night. It's amazing. She gets better every day. She gets better, literally, which is hard to believe.
Well, I'd like to see that match, though, because, I mean, I think Tessa's a real credible opponent for her. But then again, I don't think it much matters who Charlotte wrestles.
No. It's going to be great.
Now, here's one for Pete.
Put him in the ring. Put him in the ring, and Charlotte will polish him.
No question, and has done and will do.